I was hoping it would be Minister Stephen Donnelly, but I want to thank you at the same time. So, Minister, my topical is an update on the new site for the new ambulance base for Carlow Town and the delays people are experiencing waiting on the ambulances. First of all, I would like to welcome the announcement of the new ambulance base. I mean, it went into the capital plan recently, and you know, that's very welcome. But I suppose what I'm actually looking to know is, my understanding is the site is Kelvin Grove, Carlow Town, and I just want to know what is the timescale, or what is the update on the project. As you know, the ambulance paramedics in Carlow are in a prefab. It's on fit for purpose. We're now in 2022, and I think it's unacceptable that our ambulance paramedics, who do an excellent job and are absolutely excellent, that are in a prefab. So I'm actually looking for an update on that, please. My second question from this is about waiting times. I'd like to know about what is the update on the waiting times. Okay, sorry, you're gonna. I just want to know, Minister, about the waiting times for the ambulance. And I just think, and I think it's important to say this, that I have spoken to several over the years, the paramedics, and I believe myself, it's only my own opinion, that the system is wrong. There's a system now, and I just feel that needs to be looked at when you call for an ambulance. And I always feel myself that it seems to be, for many, it can be luck of the draw where an ambulance is at that particular time. And this is just an email that I have received recently from a constituent who stated that he was waiting for an ambulance in Carlow Town. He required it. He was over an hour waiting. He made several calls. Still, there was no ambulance there. He ended up having to go to his neighbour's house to get a lift to the hospital. Now, luckily, this was not a life and death situation, but again, he just highlighted to me. My other one was where a young man had been knocked down and was lying in a recovery position, and in fairness to him, he had been attended to. But again, my understanding is that it was well over an hour before the ambulance arrived. And my last one was a man contacted the office where he had an emergency call out to his house. Now, this man is 75, he's a 75-year-old man. So when the emergency call came out to him from the doctors, they rang for an ambulance. Now, they rang for the ambulance at 9 p.m. The ambulance didn't arrive till 12:50 that night. And the man, he's a diabetic, he has a heart condition, he's in hospital with a very serious condition. But I just feel, Minister, that, you know, I just want to know, is there anything else can be done here for situations like that? And this is not by no means criticism of any work that has been done to the ambulance paramedics. Is the system, I mean, do we have enough? Do we, you know, we need more staff? Do we need more, you know, what do we need to do to address this? Because you know yourself, I mean, a 75-year-old man there and he in his home waiting for an ambulance to call. I just think, in fairness, it's unacceptable. And I just feel that we need to address this. And again, as I can only stress, it's the system. It's not the work the ambulance paramedics are doing. And just while I have you there now, I've been on about the primary care centre for Tullow for the last few years. I'm looking for an update on that. If you don't have it tonight, I'm asking maybe you'd put that in your correspondence to me when you come back with an answer. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Minister Feehan.
Thank you. I want to thank Deputy Murnane-O'Connor for raising this issue. This issue has been raised on numerous occasions by you. So, since 2016, the National Ambulance Services, including its South East region, has undergone significant reform and modernisation involving the prioritisation of investment in new service developments, including increased workforce and fleet and increased technology. And since the end of 2016, National Ambulance staffing resources nationally have increased from 1,744 as of December 2016 to 2,037 at the end of May this year, an increase of 293 whole-time equivalents, representing over 16.5% growth in staff over that time frame. This year, an unprecedented $200 million has been allocated, which includes over $8 million for new service developments. and this funding will be invested in capacity building as well as increasing staffing within the Hear and Treat service in the National Emergency Operations Centre, which advises lower acuity patients of appropriate alternatives to hospital transfer. Carlow Ambulance Base, as you know, is an integral part of the ambulance service and has 2 emergency ambulances on duty at any one time. The base is supported by National Ambulance Service resources from surrounding ambulance stations, including Baltinglass, Athy, Kilkenny, Portlaoise and Enniscorthy. Dynamic deployment of available resources operates on an area and national basis rather than a county or geographical boundary basis to ensure optimum resource use as the nearest appropriate resource is mobilised to the location of the incident. The priority of dynamic deployment is patient health and welfare in the context of service delivery, which means that resources cannot be confined by county boundaries, barriers or borders. The NAS operates a comprehensive safety management system across all of its premises across the South East and continues to work collaboratively with staff and HSE estates and external providers to ensure that any concerns or issues that occur are dealt with as quickly as possible. I am happy to confirm that the Carlow Ambulance Base is included in the Capital Plan 2022, and HSE Capital and Estates have been in discussions with the ambulance service regarding the need for a replacement ambulance base for Carlow. The Kelvin Grove site, as you mentioned, has been identified as a possible suitable site, and a design team is engaged for the preparation of a development control plan, which will indicate, if it is feasible, for the proposed ambulance base to be included along with 2 other facilities planned for the site. And once this site appraisal is completed, a capital submission can be prepared. Given the work entailed and the time to move from identification and assessment of a suitable alternative site to the completion of works and building handover, remedial and refurbishment works at the existing station has been carried out to address shortcomings in relation to health and safety requirements, and further improvement works are planned later this year. All projects being progressed must be compliant with the Public Spending Code, and the final decision to proceed with the construction of a project cannot be made until the tender process has been completed and the costings reviewed to ensure that the proposal remains affordable and delivers value for money. Also, Deputy Murnane-O'Connor, you mentioned about the primary care centre for Carlow. I don't have any information on that, but I will bring your views to the Minister and try to get a reply as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Minister. Deputy.
Yeah, no, I just want to thank you, Minister, because I think it is important that communication, is given to us and to the ambulance paramedics themselves. And I know, as I said again, the great work that's been done, and I think we would have seen it over COVID, the amount of, call-outs that had been done and all. But I just would ask you that you would come back to me with more definite times and what the framework plan is. And I think that's important, that we have a particular time scale because of the urgency of this. And I know that there is other things earmarked for that, like Holy Angels. There's a bill there for Holy Angels, which is another excellent project for Carlow Town, so I want to welcome that too. Of course, then that is important too, that we get moving on that as soon as possible. But again, I just think it's important that we do communicate information, that there is updates given, and I would ask that you would keep that in mind for me. And also, I would be really glad if you did come back to me about the primary care centre in Carlow. That was meant to have been built, I think, 2 years ago. And we are still, my understanding is, I still haven't found out where the particular site is for that. And I just think it's an urgent need for Carlow. So we need this urgent primary care centre for there too. So I would ask you that that would be a priority, and you come back to that to me too. And thank you, I got in 2 issues there. Thank you so much.
Minister.
I suppose we're nearing the end of our holidays to get the work. Again, I want to thank you, Deputy Murnane-O'Connor, for raising the issue of revision of the ambulance base located in Carlow Town and allowing me to outline what has been done to help people experience delays. And a significant programme of work is underway to transform the National Ambulance Service from an emergency medical service into a highly adaptable and responsive mobile medical service, well positioned to treat patients at the lowest appropriate level of acuity, resulting in a better experience for the patient and a more efficient use of resources. A programme of reform and modernisation has been involved in the new service, and including increase in the fleet, and technological improvements has also taken place. You've asked for updates and times, and I'll try to get those from the Department of Health. But also, car ambulance base, as you know, is an integral part of the ambulance service, and replacement ambulance base is included in the Capital Plan 2022, and I think that's good news. And work is underway on identifying and securing this feasible site. And Deputy O'Connor, you've raised this, Murnane-O'Connor, you've raised this issue quite a few times, and it's nice to have some good information. And also, you're getting two for the price of one. I will follow up on the primary care centre in Tullow for you as quickly as I can.
Thank you, Minister.